Hi, everybody. This is Sandy Sandler, the creator of the Bowdabra, and I'm so happy to have Nick in front of the camera and Alex behind the camera. So, Nick's going to take you on a wonderful, but I just do want to say thank you to everybody who's ever served and to all of our lost for this Memorial Day. I want to just thank all of our soldiers and veterans and those who paid the ultimate price.
Yes, I completely agree. So today is a very special day, and we are going to be teaching you guys all sorts of bows. So thank you, Sandy, for that introduction. What we have in front of me is our large Bowdabra to the right or your left, as well as the mini Bowdabra. And today, you guys, we're going to break into, which is kind of sad, our first new roll in about, gosh, Alex, what, a year?
It's been a very long time, yes.
So we're breaking into it. We're going to switch gears and use the gold. And the reason is because in a few weeks or so, we're going to start designing for fall and Christmas, and I love using the gold ribbon for both of those. So this comes in both gold as well as silver. You can find all of the supplies, the large Bowdabra, the mini, the silver and gold wire, along with all of the ribbons at nicksseasonaldecor.com. 100-yard spool, as you can see here, and it lasts, as you can tell, over a year. So it's always sad when we break into a fresh roll, but it's also kind of like a fresh start too. So let's see. I haven't opened one. We got to cut the plastic first. But I hope everybody had a great weekend. It actually is pouring for the first time in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. You guys, I planted a lot of vegetables, a lot of flowers, and I had to end up watering them 2 or 3 times a day. You know, Sandy's over there in Nevada, so she's used to the heat. Us here in Massachusetts, It was very, very hot. So it was a nice, cool day finally, and my plants aren't going to struggle as much. So there we
You
go.
know,
We
it's
removed.
funny. I was in Arizona last weekend, Nick. This is Sandy. I was in Arizona last weekend and everybody was complaining about the heat and it wasn't even like 100. And I'm thinking, it's not hot at all.
My
Yeah, you're used to
gosh.
that heat. Me, not so much. So we just got to find the end of this roll.
Hello, everyone. Happy Memorial Day. I hope you guys all had a great weekend so far. Oh, actually, today is the last day of the long weekend.
It is the last day.
And I can't believe it's already Monday again.
I know. It's flying by, you guys. And this is our last Bowdabra session until June. It's going to be June, you guys. So don't forget, you can catch me live here on Bowdabra the last 2 Mondays of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm just going to quickly share this so we can get all of our folks here. And yeah, don't forget too, Bowdabra's giving away a free roll of ribbon, right?
Yes, so comment down below and you might be our lucky winner tonight.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
I'm so used to using the silver wire.
I know now
It's new.
it's gonna really show against the table, so it might be better for camera's sake. But I just cut a length of the wire. I folded it in half. So here's the wire. Hey Max, Marilyn's here. Just fold the thing in half. Work it right into the middle of the Bowdabra. One thing that I think a lot of designers and newbies do is overcomplicate things. So I like to take it step by step, and I hope it really kind of simplifies it because you guys can absolutely do everything that I do. So I also like to tuck my wires underneath my Bowdabra to get them out of the video or to get them out of my way and prevent me from pulling them out as I'm working in my ribbon. So we're going to start with, I think, a really pretty summer ribbon, and that is orange, yellow, and green. So with orange, I think it's summery because we always plant marigolds in my garden every year. And they're always orange or yellow. It depends on what color we want for the year. Alex is always team orange, so we're gonna work this ribbon in. So I think this also looks great with monarchs. We've used it with monarch butterflies in the past, and all we're gonna do is just cut a bunch of random pieces, random lengths. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna pinch, once we fold it in half, pinch about 3 or 4 inches down, and simply work that into your Bowdabra. How easy is that? Thank you guys for the shares. Yes, if you enjoy watching me here, be sure to hit that like button and that share button. It helps us reach others and teach them how easy bow making can be. So we're going to really show you some super easy techniques. And these are my go-to techniques for most of my designs, if not all of them.
Yeah.
I like to keep things on the simpler side, and that's what I like to do with my bows as well. So we're going to just repeat this process over and over again. I'm not measuring anything. Another thing I think a lot of newbies do is they sit there and measure every piece out. You don't have to. Look, that's perfect. We're going to pinch that and stick it in. If it's a little bit longer on one side or a little bit shorter, it just adds to the beauty and it adds a lot of depth. So don't get too caught up in measurements. Hey, Risa, that looks good to me. We'll snip and we're going to work in, let's do let's do 3 loops on either side. And I do want to point out that I am alternating the sides. So we came back in with our last loop here. We're going to place our next loop on the opposing side. And that way, when the time comes to fluff it, it just makes it a little bit easier because everything's already on the side that we want it on. Thank you guys for the shares. I see almost 100 of you guys already. So let's see if we can hit 100 live viewers. And that'd be awesome. Here's our next piece. So that's 1, 2, 3 on this side. And we have 2 on this side. We're going to work in 1 more and call it a day. Here's our final piece. So this bow technique is one of my favorites for leftover ribbon because all we're using is just a couple yards. So if you only have a couple yards of ribbon and you're not able to create a super full traditional bow, this technique is awesome for that. So now that we have all of our ribbons in place, we're going to take our wires from either side, lift them up from underneath the Bowdabra. Like I said before, I just tucked them underneath to get them out of my way. We're going to pull them to the center. Since we folded it in half, we're going to have a loop and then 2 cut wires. We're going to feed those cut wires through the loop and pull it really tight. Marilyn says, I love the plaid, right? Isn't this pretty? Love these colors. Looks like a hot summer day. I agree. And this ribbon, you guys, you know, in the wreath community, I teach a lot about, you know, creating designs that carry over from season to season or holiday, you know, multiple holidays or even year-round designs. I think this particular ribbon pattern would also work great for fall. And I've used it for Easter because think carrots. So when you do it that way, if you're creating bows for your home and you don't want to make a bunch of them, or if you're selling designs, I know a lot of you guys watching are designers in business, and you struggle with selling or space, right? I think space is the number one thing because we all run out of space. Having bows or decor, you know, works for different seasons and opportunities, just means that the chance of it selling is significantly increased because, you know, you have a larger window frame, a larger window for it to sell. We should do a window frame design here on Bowdabra one of these days.
Yes, I love those.
Yeah, show some hearts if you guys want to see me designing a window frame here. Once we get them back in stock, we definitely can work a tutorial for you guys. So just dovetailing now. To dovetail, if you've never seen it before, take your tail, fold it in half, and cut from the middle out towards the wired edge at an angle. We're going to do that to all of our tails. Couple more. What's this? The last one, you guys. Last tail, dovetailed. So that's how the bow looks like. That's what the bow looks like now. But now the most important step, which is to fluff. So watch this bow transform in the blink of an eye. It might take you guys a minute or two, but it's really worth it. And sometimes I go back and fluff 3 or 4 times just to ensure that my bow looks exactly the way I want in my wreaths. So pull apart those loops, pull apart those tails. This is all wired ribbon that we're using tonight. So it holds its shape perfectly. Fluff it out. And lately I've been loving a more relaxed looking bow. What do you think, Alex? Do you like that look too? For years and years and years, I've been making sure my loops and my tails are perfect, but now I kind of like my tails to be a little bit more wavy and relaxed.
Yeah, no, I like that look too.
So to get that wavy effect, just take your ribbon and do what I just did here. Just take it and kind of scrunch it up a bit. 110 of you guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing. I greatly appreciate it. So if you've seen me before and I taught you something, let me know down below. I promise it won't go straight to my head. It just lets me know that you guys enjoy it, which means we will do more and more of these tutorials.
Oh, I love the way this is turning out.
All right, come on. How beautiful is that? Come on.
And this bow technique too, you could use multiple ribbons.
We're going to show that, so stick around. Don't leave. Don't leave, you guys. Let's do that next, actually. 118, thank you for watching. So here is bow number 1. Isn't that pretty? So I did cut off my wire, but that's what you would use to secure it. I remove it because we send pictures to Bowdabra of the bows kind of in their prim and proper state, right? So we want to make sure that the wires aren't shown. All right, next bow. I'm going to show you guys a 3 ribbon bow, so don't go anywhere. A 3 ribbon bow. We're going to cut another length of wire. Snip it off. Work it in. Always enjoy your tutorials. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that. Now, look at these. This was a last minute decision, but I think that's going to look so cool for bees. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that awesome? So we're going to start with our 2.5 or 1.5 inch solid black ribbon. And for years and years, finding solid black and solid white ribbon seemed really hard, right? I was never able to find it. So I was really happy when we were able to get this because it works for everything.
Yeah.
I think Christmas, for the last few years, working in black for your Christmas designs has been very popular. Valentine's Day. gothic,
Pretty much
Halloween.
every holiday you can honestly add black. It's like a
Exactly.
contrast color.
Now we're going to do the same thing with the yellow. This is a yellow and black stripe, and I think this is going to look like the perfect bee wreath or bow. But it would be perfect in a bee wreath too. So now we're going to work in the 7/8, and this is going to add a little extra pop with the white. The same technique as the first bow, you guys. There's no difference. Same exact technique. The only difference is instead of working in one ribbon, we're working in 3 ribbons.
And
So
this works if you have a lot of leftover scraps of different ribbons. You can put them all together.
let's give Alex a big round of applause, because that's right. Exactly, Alex.
Nick, can you show slower how you're twisting the ribbon to make the, like, it's just a bunch of awareness ribbons, but can you
Yes,
show how you twist it?
yeah, a bunch of awareness ribbons. I am kind of fluffing this as we go, but if you watch the last bow that we just made, I didn't do that, right? I just took my ribbons and I stuck them in like this, right? So you can do one of two things. You can just take your ribbon, fold it in half, create your single loop like an awareness ribbon. So once we open these up, it looks like an awareness ribbon, and you can stick it in like that. Or what you can do is you can have it opened up. So by having it opened up, and I'm going to place it this direction because we already came back in with our last loop on the right side or your left. So I want the loop on the opposing side just so it's easier to fluff. And that's also why I open up those tails at the same time too. So you can do one of two ways. Either way will still achieve the same look, same bow. There's no difference. So there's a lot of different ways to create pretty bows. There's no one rule fits all type of situation. It really depends on what's easiest on your hands. So for this loop, let's just keep it like that without separating it. But if you wanted to separate it when it's in your Bowdabra, you can do that. So I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I do want to kind of explain all of the different approaches because there's so many different ways of using your Bowdabra to create your bows. So that is 2 of each. Now let's work in our final of the 7/8. And I think that should be enough. I don't think we need to work in 3 layers. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. So again, you can open it up and look at how much longer this tail is than that. It's not going to matter. Alternate the sides so it's easier to fluff, and that is 2 layers. And I think 2 is going to give us the effect that we want. But look at how pretty it looks already just sitting in the Bowdabra. So we're going to take our wires and we're going to pull them through and tighten it. There we go. Pam says, love the color combination. I think this is really cute.
Yeah, I love it together.
And if you switched out the black and yellow for red and yellow, then you got ladybugs. Or if you just kept it black and white, you know, that would be really cool as well. So many different approaches, so many different color combinations to make this really festive and fun. We're going to remove that wire. And 130 of you guys are here. Make sure to hit that like and share button. Let's see if we can hit 150 viewers. Dovetail these. Almost there, you guys. Watch the reveal. Don't go anywhere. So Alex the other night made her first bow live on our page, and I taught her an even simpler technique, right, Alex?
Yes.
So we're going to show you guys how to do that tonight. And I gave Alex a 10-second demo right before her live, and it turned out great. So that bow I think, might be the easiest bow technique, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to show them.
So let's show you guys that one next. Audrey's from North Carolina. Welcome, Audrey. Don't be shy. If you're a ghost watcher, you guys, if you watch my videos and don't say hi every now and then, how am I going to get to know you, right? So now let's fluff our bow out. Look at this tail versus this tail. See how much longer it is, and it's not going to matter. So all I'm doing is I'm
Plus, Nick, we need everybody to say where they're watching from so they could potentially win a roll of Bowdabra scrunchie ribbon.
Right, yes.
Oh, I love this.
Isn't that pretty?
It's so cute.
And the more time you spend fluffing it, the better it's going to look. How cool is that bow? Isn't that cool? So, Beetlejuice, says Rose. So, show some hearts if you guys like that bow, and I think that turned out very cute. So, you can use as many ribbons as you would like. I am a more simpler of a designer, so I like to use simpler prints. We have stripes, we have polka dots, and then we have a solid, but you can use whatever color combination, whatever you decide would be pretty, whatever your style is, right? We all have different styles. So that is that bow. And if you made it this far, don't forget to join both the Bowdabra fan gallery, let's switch to our mini, and the Nick Seasonal Decor crafting community. Both groups are great resources for more inspiration from countless designers around the world.
And both groups are on Facebook.
Yes. We're going to take our wire, stick it into the mini Bowdabra. There we go. And let's do, should I do that technique that I was talking about? Let's do that.
Yeah.
And let's do that for the wreath, actually. So now, well, this ribbon's thick, so we'd have to switch gears. So we're going to use the 7/8 inch. I want to show you guys a really easy technique. Watching from Ontario. Welcome, Pam. Nice to see you here. So this is one of my favorites, and I actually saw a lot of you guys send me pictures the other day of your bows using this technique. So I think this is one of the coolest techniques. And with 4th of July right around the corner, let's create a patriotic kind of sparkler bow. So I have 3 longer loops. However long you decide to make them is perfectly fine. We have about 2.5, 3 inches on either side of this loop. Same with this one, but none of them are exactly the same, nor do they have to be, nor do I encourage them to be. So we have those. This one's a little bit shorter. And what I like to do with this technique is I like to work in the smallest or the biggest to the smallest. I want the smallest on the surface so you're still able to see them. We're going to take our wire out, pull it to the middle, tighten it, and that is using like a yard of ribbon. So if you only have a little bit left, you still can create a pretty bow. We're going to tie it from behind. Lisa's from Mobile, Alabama.
Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you for tuning in. Snip your wire off. Now let's just dovetail this quick. I know I hate dovetailing on camera because it does take an extra, well, I'm quick with it, right? Give me some credit, you guys. I like to make it as quick and painless for you as possible. But it is worth it. It really makes all the difference. So dovetailing is the same no matter the width of the ribbon or the print or the fabric or anything. Just fold it in half and cut from the middle out towards the wired edge at an angle. And it looks so much better. We have one more tail on this side.
I love this technique when you do it.
Right? Me too. So I'm using one ribbon, but I've shown you guys how to make poinsettias with it. And as Christmas comes around, we'll do the same thing. We'll show you guys that. I've shown you how to make daisies this year. I've shown you how to make it with 3 ribbons, different widths, different lengths, you name it. You can do this with any ribbon. 100 and almost 30 of you guys, thank you for tuning in. Marianne's from California. I can imagine the heat there.
Today was actually quite cool, I think because of the rain, but the past couple of days, guys, it's been so hot here in Massachusetts.
So hot. I mean, 80s. Well,
yeah.
Almost 80s. Well, 80s.
Yeah,
a couple of days
about
were in
80.
the 80s. Let's see. Reese said, how to attach the grapevine? Yes. Reese, I'm going to show you guys that next. Fluff it open. And look at how cute that bow technique is.
Every time you make it, I really think it looks like a little sparkler, like a little firework.
A little firework. I forget what I called it a few minutes ago. A
Sparkler?
firecracker?
Oh,
Sparkler?
firecracker?
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, you could attach this to a stick and use it as a pick.
Yeah.
In your wreaths, right? I mean, it holds up just fine. So that's this bow technique. Isn't that really cute? We expect a high of maybe 80 this week. So Maxine says Dallas, Texas area. Whew, I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
We go there a lot. We know that heat. So now it's time to make our bow. So make sure, if you haven't let us know where you're from yet, to do so, because you could win a free roll of ribbon tonight. So we're going to take our wire, cut a long enough piece, stick it underneath our Bowdabra. Now we're going to work in our ribbon for the wreath. And I'm going to show you guys that technique I was talking about with Alex. So we're going to use this ribbon. I didn't use this with the mini because this, out of all of the ribbons that we carry, this is the thickest ribbon we have in stock. So I want to make sure that we have a nice sturdy base. So that's where the larger Bowdabra comes in handy. So we're going to just take our ribbon. We're going to pinch it so that we have a single loop and 2 tails, most important, different lengths. And all we're going to do is place these in the same direction into the Bowdabra. Hey, Chris from Virginia. Julie share. Thank you, Julie. Almost 140 viewers now. You guys are the best.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Do the same thing again with another piece of ribbon. We're going to just pinch and work it in so that we have all of our loops on the surface. And now we finished off this roll of ribbon. So whatever's left is going to be A-okay. We're going to work in 3 loops up top and then 6 tails because we have 2 tails each down below. Now we can take our wire, pull it to the middle, and tighten it. There we go. Only 57 right now in Cape Cod. Yeah, today was nice and cool. But if it heats up, I think it's going to rain for the next few days. But if it heats up, that humidity is going to kick into effect, right? So I hope it's not 80 in the next few days. So now that we have our 3 loops, this is what the bow looks like. And you can dovetail those tails. I'm going to leave them as is because we're going to curl them. And this might not look very showy, but wait till we work it in. It turns out really cute. So now let's work into our wreath. So we have one of our 18-inch grapevines. And I think I'm going to work it up top. That way we have those beautiful tails hanging down below. So Risa asked, how do I attach the wire? I'm going to take the wire, place it on my Bowdabra, and all I'm going to do from the back, let me see if I can flip it and show you. Sorry for being so close to the screen.
Place it on your grapevine, not your Bowdabra.
Or on the grapevine, I mean. We're going to take those wires, and then I just fold them over and then bring them back to the front. So I'm going to flip one more time. So now they're back to the front. And that is when I tie it. So I tie it like this so that we don't have any cut wires on the back. We just have a nice clean Bowdabra wire kind of wrapped on the grapevine like that. See? Like that. I like to tie it 3 times to ensure that it's not going anywhere. We definitely don't want to lose this. Linda lives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That is where I want to be right now. So these long tails, we're just going to take them and curl them up. That way we have different lengths. And this technique is so fun because it's so different than your typical bows that you see in your designs, right? It's very different. It's whimsical, it's simple, it's easy. It's hard to mess this one up.
It's like an octopus with all the
legs. It is like an octopus, right? So just have those throughout. This one's a little bit shorter. We'll just curl that one up too. Oh, I must try this. Give it a shot, Risa. Give it a shot. And I'm kind of rolling some of these up in the opposite direction. So let's roll them so the backs are rolled up. There we go. All right. Bow is in place. Now we have some pretty red flowers. We're going to just snip these apart. There we go. And we're going to work in this entire bush. And you don't have to work in a ton of different flowers and greenery, right? So I do teach how to do that. But if you're just starting out and you want something simple and only have a bush or 2 of flowers and greenery, you can make that work very easily. Now I'm going to take some hot glue, dip my stems in them, and just poke them in. You could also work them in dry for those of you that just want to keep your design and then switch it out for any given season. You could also do that as well, right? Like that. Well, make sure they go into the grapevine so they hold, right? And then when the time comes to change it out for the season or the holiday, or to give it kind of a fresh start, because flowers don't last forever, right? Real ones nor fake ones. You can just remove them, and then you have the grapevine, and you're saving even more money doing that. Work some on the sides. Don't forget about underneath your bows. One thing that I see, far too frequently is the lack of products surrounding your bows. We kind of want to work in everything every which way for the best effect. Place one there. We have a few more. I'm going to tuck those underneath. Couple more. And I think this bow and this wreath, I think this would work every day, right? Year round.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's work in a few more up top and down below. Why not? We have 2 left. I'm going to place them. I'll place one all the way down. And then our final one, we can work right in the center. And that kind of covers up the middle. How's that look on camera?
It looks pretty. I love the bow
right?
with all the
Something different.
tails.
It
Yeah.
looks gorgeous, Nick. It's really pretty.
Thank you, Sandy. You don't have to spend a fortune, you guys. You don't have to do anything super duper elaborate. Something simple and pretty for your front door, your side door, your interior door. And this bow technique, like I said before, Alex tried for the first time the other day. Her bow actually turned out better than mine. So, very easy technique that any one of you guys can make. And I kind of like my tail kind of off to the side a little bit, like that too. So, that is the wreath. And it looks like we have time for one more bow. So, if you're
And
just
we
tuning
also
in,
have a winner. Our
we
winner
have
of
our
the Bowdabra Scrunchy Ribbon is Brenda Weatherall.
congratulations, Brenda. You just won a free roll of ribbon.
Congratulations, Brenda. Yay. Make sure to reach out to Bowdabra directly here on Facebook, or you can send them an email and let them know which color scrunchy ribbon you would like, whether gold, silver, or red. But
Yes.
congratulations.
Let's all take a second and congratulate Brenda on winning a free roll of ribbon. Who doesn't want free ribbon? So, our final bow, let's do our final patriotic bow. We won't be here again live until the end of June, the last 2 Mondays of each month. We are live. So, it's going to be a while, about 3 weeks out. So, let's show you guys one final bow technique. We're going to snip a length of tails. This is a pretty plaid ribbon. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our ribbon, we're going to place it inside the Bowdabra. Here's our long tails. And let's try to keep our bow or our Bowdabra stationary today.
And I love this gingham so much. It comes in a bunch of different colors too, guys. We actually have them all at nickseasonaldecor.com, but this one is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love this one too. And while you're there, make sure to snag your Bowdabras, you guys. I think we only have a few silver wires left too. So we're going to work in 3 loops on either side.
I can't believe you broke into a new roll of wire.
I know. And you know what? I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Christmas and fall designs, I really like to use the gold. And then at the same time, too, I was like, well, we got to get some more silver wire because we only got a couple rolls. So I saved those for you guys. If you wanted to snag one, make sure to grab it before they go. We will have more, of course, but you could be the lucky few that gets the last ones. So 3 loops on either side. These are about 3.5-inch loops. And then what we're going to do is 1 loop on either side. Again, mixing it up. And this loop is only going to be about 2.5 inches. See how it's slightly smaller? And this is a partial roll too. There was only a few yards off of this roll. So you guys can really make decently full bows using just 1 leftover spool of ribbon. You don't have to start with a fresh roll. And it's time for our last loop. What's this loop called, everyone?
Button loop.
The button loop. You didn't even give people a chance to vote, to comment. Hey, Danae. Okay, we're going to pull those wires through. Tighten it. Take those wires, bring them to the back. So if you struggle with tying your bows, Sandy taught me this technique because I used to just tie them kind of like how I secure my pipe cleaners. Take your wire, flip it over, and tie it from behind. And that way you're not seeing that blunt edge on the top. If you decide to just attach this, a different way, whether it be a swag, but if you attach it to the wreath, I like to attach it from or secure it to the front. That way we don't have any pokey bits on the back of our bow.
It's
Or
also
back.
cool because with the wire you can just tie it. I mean, you're not struggling with your hands. It just makes it really easy.
Yeah, you don't have to twist it. So if you struggle with arthritis and carpal tunnel, it's a simple knot. Now we're going to fluff either side, pull those 3 bigger loops. Then we came back in with 1 slightly smaller loop, and then the button loop. Pull our long tails down. Where's my other long tail? I know I have 2. And look at how pretty that bow is. So show some hearts for that. That is a pretty, pretty bow. And again, the more time you spend fluffing it, the prettier it turns out. All right, here is our last bow.
Now, everybody give thumbs up for Nick's shirt. I love it.
It's full of thing. So thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Joe, for moderating the chat, and thank you to everyone watching. I appreciate you all being here so very much. And if you made it this far, I don't think we've done keywords with Bowdabra before, but if you made it this far, I can't say comment Bowdabra because that wouldn't, comment down below the word pin.
Happy Memorial Day.
I use floral pins to secure my ribbon, so comment down below the word pin, P-I-N, and I'll know that you watched this entire video. And I will see you all the last 2 Mondays of every month, but I'll see you the last 2 Mondays of June. So I hope you all have a
and
wonderful day, and stay tuned for the pictures that Bowdabra posts of these finished bows. So thank you
and
again. I'll
thank
see
you,
you.
Nick and Alex. You guys did an
Yes.
Thank
amazing job.
Thank you guys. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.